Good morning and welcome to our newspaper review program, Front Page on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. I am Solomon of Let's go straight to the show. Let's start with Punch. Yes, the major top story here is a capital project scramble at states. As a state cut spending. Let's quickly take a look at details of that. Let's see. Procurement delays, worsening insecurity, and rising cost of goods and services have emerged as major reasons several state governments failed to meet their capital expenditure target in the first 6 months of 2025. The Punch report. Findings from state second quarter budget implementation report revealed that capital spending across many states remained significantly below expectations, despite ambitious budgetary provisions designed to accelerate infrastructure growth. A fresh breakdown of state government expenditure between January and June 2025 showed that 31 states collectively disbursed 2.75 trillion naira for capital project. However, this figure represents only a fraction of the 17.51 trillion naira they had budgeted for capital expenditure in 2025 fiscal year. That's the major story from Punch. And other headline story: our church attackers have ties to Al-Shabaab, says DSS. This is interesting. It's on insecurity. Let's see what that story says. The Department of State Services has urged the Federal High Court in Abuja to deny bail to 5 men standing trial over their alleged involvement in the June 5, 2025 terror attack at St. Francis Xavier Catholic Church, or Ondo State, which left about 40 worshippers dead and over 100 injured. Now, the DSS, in a court affidavit to the defendant's bail application, warned that the men had alleged ties to foreign terrorist fighters linked to the Al-Shabaab group and could abscond if released. The defendants, I didn't need to go call their names. Now, the DSS argued that granting bail would endanger the safety of witnesses and compromise the trial. Okay. Now, what are the other top stories? Yoruba elders weighed in as Alaafin on if you'd escalate. 36 governors unite to woo foreign investors via new platform. 2027 breakdown: Wike fires shot at Amechi Babachiru, trashes ADC. And the other news here: Colombian court orders ex-president release pending appeal. That's on our international news. And back to our local news now. Ogun APC suspends Boyega Daniel, loyalist over anti-party activities. And Rivers local government pool: Wike's camp dominates as RSEC clears 16 parties. And Northern Forum warns against Muslim ticket in 2027. EFCC detains Hajj Commission officials over alleged feud. Now let's take a look at what the Metro Plus is saying. And still on a Punch. Let's see. Family of 12-year-old boy seek 4 million naira for corrective surgery. Land dispute: FCT collect FCT Cooperative Society to picket defense office Thursday. Lagos women plan nude protest over ancestral home destruction. And still on the Metro Plus, police arrest 13 cattle rustlers, recover 27 stolen cows in Kaduna. Okay, that on the business segment, still on Punch, Nigeria's oil worth 341 trillion naira locked in undeveloped fields, according to a report. And AFG Aviation releases 2 aircraft to Cali Air. Okay, and now for a quick look at sports. Napoli eye Aroko Dare to replace Lukaku, and Awoni faces uncertain future at Forest. From Punch, we move over to the Nation. Yes, the Nation. What are the major headlines there? Governors move to attract more foreign investment. There's some headline for Punch is now the major headlines for the Nations. And what are the other headlines? Tinubu not unapproachable, says Wike. Sokoto boat accident, wake-up call to all wake-up call to do more in waterway safety. Now let's take a look at the details of this story. It is quite interesting, talking about water transportation there. Okay, while we're waiting for that story to load, let's take a look at the other sub-headlines. Niger leaves Lagos 100,000 hectares for food production, gives Lagos 100,000 hectares of food production. Okay, and Ogun APC ratifies Daniel's suspension for alleged anti-party activities. Now for a look at the details of that major headlines from the nations. Minister of State's Works Muhammad Bello Gorinyo has described the tragic boat accident in Sokoto as a wake-up call for both the federal and state government to invest more in waterways safety. The tragedy is a wake-up call for us to do more in ensuring the safety of our people. Through collaboration, we can strengthen community resilience and safeguard lives, Ogoronyo said. He spoke during a visit to National Emergency Management Agency NEMA Director General Jia Subeida Umar to commiserate with her on the boat accident in which no fewer than 50 people died. The minister announced the donation of 2 million naira to the bereaved families and promised to provide a speedboat to enhance safer water transportation within the community. According to him, these measures, alongside interventions from both federal and state government, would not only ease the burden on affected families but also help prevent future accident. Okay, let's see what other headline story now saying. Still on the nations, alleged fraud, court freezes ex-NNPCL boss carries 661 million naira in 4 bank accounts. Nigeria to demand a reform of global financial system. Edun Cardoso meets to strengthen fiscal monetary policies synergy. That's what some of the headlines here are saying. And from the nations, and the politics segment, participation in INEC CVR will ease challenge to change of government to APC. Okay, let's see what that story is saying. Lots of people have been asking about registration of CVR. So let's see. Governorship aspirant Prince Dotun Babayemi has implored eligible voters to participate in the continuous voters registration CVR to engender change of government in Osun State during the 2026 global race fixed for August 8 to all Progressive Congress APC. Babayemi also added that participation in the CVR of Independent National Electoral Commission and exercise to boost the re-election of President Bola Tinubu in 2027. Okay, now what are the other headlines? Let's see. Okay. Business, Jay's Bank target 100 billion naira capital base in 2026. Nigerians urged to embrace proper knowledge in e-trading to avoid financial losses. Nigeria launches 40,000 CBM LPG vessel to boost clean energy. Atlanta Sports, Nigeria ends CHAN 2024 with victory over Congo. Chan's Eagles play for pride against Congo, says Chell. Lukman raped over breach of Atalanta contract. That's what the sports segment is saying of from the Nation's newspaper. And from the Nation's newspaper, where do we go? Okay, The Sun. What are the major headlines there? It's on politics. 2027 ADC is no coalition. They have nothing. That's according to Wiki. Let's quickly take a look at details of what that story is saying. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT Nyesom Wike, has dismissed the African Democratic Congress ADC as a formidable coalition, saying they have nothing to show. According to Wike, the movement of a group of individuals from one party to another does not constitute a coalition. While speaking on a television show on Tuesday, the minister cited the merger of the Congress for Progressive Change (CPC) the Action Congress of Nigeria (ACN) and some members of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), which led to the formation of the ruling All Progressive Congress (APC) in 2014, adding that a coalition takes place only when two or more political parties come together to form a new one. Let me quote him: "There is no coalition. What is coalition? You can talk about coalition when CPC and AC and some PDP members went to form another party that you can call coalition," Wike stated. Using the result of the just concluded by-elections to buttress his point, Wike justifies his stance that Nigerians have nothing to gain from the ADC. When asked if there was why he advised Nigerians against voting for the party in 2027 election, Wike responded in the affirmative, adding, "because they have nothing to show." Okay, that's the major headlines for the Sun. Let's look at the other headlines. NGF Investopedia to bridge Nigeria's $100 billion annual infrastructure financing gap. That's from Abdul Razak. Okay, by-election APC testing ground for 2027 PDP. What are the other headline story? Okay, ZLP to exploit APC's failures in 2027 poll. SDP not divided, just varied opinions. That's according to Adebayo. Babachir Lawal believe he will be Tinubu's VP. Wike. Okay, Kaduna by-elections, how APC flood PDP ADC. And 2027 Amichi's presidential ambition dead on arrival, says Wike. Lots of Wike quoting there from the Sun. Let's see other headlines. Let's see. Okay, now to the business segment. Insurance pension leaders to chart a new path for NAIPE confab. How Nikon's new law seeks to end Nigeria's building collapse strategy. That's still on the business segment. More business segment. DMO to reissue 230 billion naira NTBs as yields rise. Okay, let's see if there are other interesting headline stories here from the Sun. Let's see. Okay, let's end it there. And from the Sun, we move over to this day. The major headlines for this day: swift trials of arrested leaders of Ansaru sect must start. Let's see what that story says. Let's see. Okay, the National Human Rights Commission (NHRC) has called on the federal government to swiftly put every machinery in place to ensure swift trial of the arrested leaders of the notorious terrorist group Ansaru, ensuring that they were held to the highest form of accountability befitting their heinous crimes. The call was made yesterday by the Executive Secretary of the Commission, Dr. Tony Ojukwu, at the presentation of July 2025 Human Rights Dashboard in Abuja. This was the Nigerian Union of Journalists (NUJ). This was as the Nigerian Union of Journalists (NUJ) has commended the government and its security forces for the recent successful operation that led to the capture of two high-ranking members of the Ansar terror group. In the same vein, the International Organization for Migration (IOM) has also applauded the government for its leadership role in implementing Operation Safe Corridor, a model for the rehabilitation and reintegration of repentant ex-Boko Haram fighters, especially the expansion of the program beyond the northeast to the northwest and north central region. Nonetheless, the Department of State Services (DSS) has cautioned the Federal High Court in Abuja against granting bail to the 5 men being prosecuted over their alleged involvement in the June 5, 2020 attack of St. Francis Xavier Catholic Church, or Ondo State, in view of the alleged link with foreign terror groups. Okay, let's leave it at that. Let's go. What are the other headline stories from this day? Court freezes bank account linked to ex-NNPCL GMD carry over suspicious transaction. The same headlines with some other newspaper I've read before. A governor's launch platform to attract FDIs says $2 billion yearly inflow, less than 0.5% of GDP. Now, I saw these headlines before. Let's quickly take a look at the details of that. Let's see. Especially at a time where people are complaining about the economic situation. I mean, bringing in more money, more investment to Nigeria is quite apt at this time. Now, state governors in the country yesterday floated an investment platform to enable the 36 states attract foreign direct investment FDIs. They said NGF Investopedia was launched because the $2 billion yearly foreign investment inflow was less than 0.5% of the country's gross domestic product (GDP). The investment initiative came as Counselor of Economic Affairs, United States Embassy in Nigeria, Christian Harburg, pledged the American government's support for a project that showcased investment opportunities in various Nigerian states. Director General of the Nigerian Governors Forum (NGF), Abdulateef Shitu, said the infrastructure financing gap in the country was estimated at $100 billion annually and yearly $1 trillion over the next decade. The 36 states collectively budgeted more than 17.5 trillion naira for capital projects in 2025, reflecting their commitment to transform infrastructure and social services, yet financing constraints and fragmented entry point often prevented investors from engaging in large-scale investment in the state. Let's go see what other headlines are saying. Again, Edun Cardoso meets on deepening coordination between fiscal monetary policy. Abia benefits from $750 million World Bank Renewable Energy Program and collaborates with ISA to develop mini grid. Let's see what other headline stories they have in the Daily Times this day rather. NHRC swift trial of arrested leaders of Saru sector must start. I think I've read this before. Osun APC decries Governor Adeleke's prolonged US stay. And Abia benefits from $750 million World Bank Renewable Energy Program. I think I've already read that. I think we'll have to end it here for this day live. From there we move over to Daily Post. Yes, let's see what the major headlines is for Daily Post. Hungry masses, Nigerians reject pay rise for Tinubu, Shetima, Akpabio, others. This is a reaction to one of the major headlines yesterday. Let's see. The Nigerian government is considering an upward review of salaries for political office holders following concerns that their current earnings are inadequate and outdated. The chairman of the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission, RMAFC, Mohammed Shehu, disclosed this at the press briefing in Abuja on Monday. Shehu noted that President Bola Tinubu presently earns 1.5 million naira monthly, while ministers receives less than 1 million naira, figures that have remained unchanged since 2008. He further argued, you are paying the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1.5 million naira a month with a population of over 200 million people. Everybody believes that it is a joke, he said. He further argued that the disparity between political office holders and heads of federal agencies are unjustifiable, pointing out that some agency chiefs earn up to 20 times more than ministers or even the Attorney General of the Federation. However, the move has stirred fresh controversy in the country, where workers are still demanding a living wage, with millions of Nigerians struggling under inflation and rising poverty. Observers believe that the development has reopened debate about leadership, public trust, and the true cost of governance in Africa's largest democracy. Now, Daily Post reports that although the minimum wage in Nigeria is currently pegged at 70,000 naira per month, as approved by the federal government and some state governments, not all states have implemented it, especially for local government workers and primary school teachers. Recall that in 2022, the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) revealed that over 133 million Nigerians live in poverty, representing 63% of the nation's population. The NBS reports noted that deprivation remains high in sanitation, healthcare, access, food security, and housing. Poverty is also more severe in rural areas where 72% of people are poor compared to 42% in urban centers. Okay, let's leave it at that. Let's see if we can get other headlines, stories there. Okay. Nigeria is down, Showore kicks as DSS reportedly screens SAN designates. Let's see what the headlines are saying. Okay, Peter Obi's political influence declining, according to Lagos LP. Wike dismisses Amichi's presidential bid as dead on arrival. INEC schedules Zamfara supplementary polls for August 20. Okay, let's see. Okay, looks like we'll have to end it here for the Daily Posts. And from the Daily Post to move over to Daily Trust, where let's see what the major headlines are saying. Okay, Katsina mosque killings, we were attacked during prayers. Let's see what that story is saying. Okay, survivors of an attack on a mosque in Katsina State said that they were attacked in the early hours of Tuesday while observing the Subi, that's morning prayers. Members of the Gudan Mantau community, which is less than 10 kilometers from Malumfashi town of Katsina State, who spoke to Daily Trust yesterday, said about 23 people died in the incident, but the state government said 13 worshippers were killed. It was also gathered that many others sustained varying degrees of injuries following the attack. The incident occurred just a day after Governor Diko began a 3-week medical leave, transferring power to his deputy Balam Farouk Lawal. The attack also comes after 18 months after a similar assault on worshippers observing Isha, that's night prayers, in Margoje village, Kankara local government area within the same state. Sources quoted the survivors of the last attack as latest attack, as saying that the incident happened around 5 a.m. shortly after they started their Subi prayers. Get that the major headlines, the top story for Daily Trust. Let's see what the other headlines are saying. 2025 Hajj NACON Commissioner Director detained over alleged diversion of funds. AFCC places Melekari on watch list as court freezes account. Let's see what the other headlines are saying. Let's see. Okay, on international news, Jamaica's 63rd independence celebrated with Thanksgiving in Abuja. Okay, Nigerians urged to embrace proper knowledge in e-trading to avoid financial loss. This headlines was one of the major headlines. One or two other newspaper I read earlier. Colleges of education can run degree program, according to Minister. 7 dead in the Maturu Maiduguri road crash. And our church attackers linked to Al-Shabaab, according to DSS. These are the major headlines for Daily Trust. Okay. And a quick look at headlines for Vanguard newspaper. What are the... Okay. The major headlines, the top story, U.S. reports raises concerns about security justice in Nigeria. Let's see if I can quickly see what that story says. The United States government has raised concerns over security and justice delivery in the country, citing cases of enforced disappearances and arbitrary detentions. But the presidency, in a swift reaction last night, said the country's judicial system was not only addressing concerns about lengthy pre-trial periods alongside other issues, but that the federal government is also stabilizing the naira and calibrating the economy generally. However, in its country report in human rights practice for 2024 released by the Department of State, Bureau of Democracy, Human Rights and Labor, the US also identified lengthy pre-trial detention and delays as major challenges facing justice delivery in Nigeria. The report also said that the new minimum wage of 70,000 naira had been undermined by the continued depreciation of the naira. Okay, let's end it there. Let's see what the other top stories are saying. Alafin's ultimatum, empty threats from a dead empire on his spokesperson. That's what he's saying. 2027, Amechi's presidential bid dead on arrival. Wike, pretty much the same thing with so many other of the newspaper. Shetima to lead conversations at CRMI's conference. Edun Cardoso strengthened fiscal monetary partnership. Okay, federal government decries $10 billion annual food import bills, urges innovative agric finance. Okay, let's end it there. From Vanguard, let's quickly take a look at guidance quickly as well, and because Rufai Hussein is on standby to help analyze the headlines, the stories for us. Okay, major headlines there: floods, a lack of potable water worsen cholera epidemic in 34 states. Okay, let me see what that says. Nigeria's cholera crisis is deepening as flooding and other factors spread the deadly disease to 34 states, killing 86 people and infecting over 3,000 by June, with 80,000 children at risk and water prices soaring. Millions are forced to drink contaminated water, perpetuating a vicious cycle of poverty and preventable death. At least 15 million Nigerians face high flooding risks as the country enters its most dangerous weather period. Nigeria's rainy season typically spans from April to October, with August marking the wettest and most hazardous month. Okay, let's stop it there. Yeah, let's see what other headlines are saying. Okay, research innovation key to solving real world problems. That's Noun VC. Outrage over stripping of service serving NYC member in Anambra. Africa loses $580 billion yearly, faces 2 trillion naira debt burden, says AFDB. Okay, let's end it there. Let's listen to Rufai Hussein help us analyze the newspaper.
Have renewed warnings over chikungunya.
I think it's the height of insensitivity for this government to be talking about increasing salary of government officials and saying that because the last time we increased it was 2008. Increasing salaries of government officials will not stop the level of corruption that is ongoing. Let us call a spade a spade. Increasing salaries of government officials will not even make any dents as regards integrity of work done. Is it the same government officials that are bragging about the fact that they have access and they can ride Rolls Royces? Those that said that they have more than enough money? Anybody that is made to serve must be paid something decent. Very, very basic level of what other people. If we truly want this country to work, you can't be saying you are paying ministers millions and university dons you are paying them pittance. So we must be able to look at this matter critically. And the argument that we want to pay ministers something so that they will not look the other way and not be corrupt. Is it a lot of these ministers that have enjoyed the largesse of the land before now? And they have a lot of parastatals around them already. At some point, President Nnamdi was talking about the Oronsoye reports. Where is that Rosario report today? Where is the Rosario report today? So these are the questions we keep asking this administration. I totally think it's in bad faith that ministers that collect a lot of allowances and a lot of perks of government officials, even up to the president, we are saying that they should increase their basic salary when they are already collecting more than enough already. We all know how much these ministers collect in extra codes when they travel. So please let us look at these things, because it just shows insensitivity to the plights of Nigerians. I think it's very sad. The two Yoruba kings are fighting, Alaafin for you and Oni of Ife, because Oni of Ife gave somebody a title, engineer Sanusi or something. In fact, both kings had fought. Both the people that were holding those positions had fought in the early 90s. And the fight is over the fact that Alaafin is saying that the Oni doesn't have a right to be able to give people the title of Yoruba land. And he gave a 48-hour ultimatum. So both of the two top kings in Yoruba land are fighting each other. In fact, the representative of the Oni of Ife came out to say that the Alaafin is making empty threats. I think both of them should call each other and settle whatever beef they have, rather than making all of this disgrace for themselves in public. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's nice for both of them to be going at each other on the pages of the national dailies. They don't need it. Gunmen invade mosque, kill 13 worshippers in Katsina. Tragedy struck in the early hours of Tuesday. Gunmen invaded a mosque in Guatemala village, killing 13 worshippers. You know, when you hear that things are getting better as regards the state of play of insecurity in the country, and you are wondering what is happening. So we need to look at these things more. What is the security authorities doing as regards this spate of insecurity and crime going on? What is the motivation? How can we nip all of this in the bud? In as much as we are giving them kudos for arresting the Boko Haram founder's son and some other people like that, and prosecuting those already in court now for the Owo massacre, the question we should ask is, when are we going to rid our society of these wanton levels of killing and insecurity once and for all? I think those are the questions we need to answer. It's teaching time saves 9. Alhaji Buba Galadima is saying that how can Kwangaso be a friend of APC if APC went ahead, in his words, to manipulate his own party NNPP in an election that happened in Kanu recently? And I think the answer to Alhaji Buba Galadima is that people only do things for their personal interests. If Kwangaso sees the opportunity for his own personal interest, he will take it. So let us look deeply and be wary of all this politicians. And like Peter Obi was saying the other day, people should go out there and get their PVC, because you not coming out to vote is going to make it easier for people to rig. But we must also push for electoral reforms leading up to the elections. And if we don't do it, it might not go well for society. So we must be careful. Concerning IPOB Air and Madam Emerson's case, the NCA has called IPOB Air and the passenger that was humiliated for further investigation, and I think they should investigate it. We must be able to know the role that was played by the IPOB Air, how they disgraced that woman, and what really led to it. Hoodlums killing again in Bayelsa State. Hoodlums have killed police officers. A policeman was killed on Tuesday in an area in Yenegua. This is another sad one as regards the state of killings in Bayelsa. The other day was a judge that was kidnapped. We all remember, but we thank God that that story went well because he was released in the end. So, hoodlums, another very sad one in Bayelsa State. For those that are pushing this ethnic division and renaming areas in Lagos, please, we'd like to remind them that they should do softly. A stitch in time saves 9. We should be careful. There's another story making around saying Nigeria is spending over 10 billion on food importation. And we should be able to look at things properly. Over 10 billion on food importation. 10 billion on food importation. So when you look at that amount, and you look and say, okay, what are the gains of what we said we gained in the agricultural sector? And since the minister is lamenting, and he said this at Agri Expo organized by First Bank, he said we are importing food such as wheat, which we have the capacity to grow, which we are not growing, rice. But this government said that they are producing rice like never before now. Sugar, fish, even tomato paste. We sit on 85 million hectares of arable land, but we are spending over $10 billion on all these imports. It spells doom for our country. What are we doing? How are we thinking critically about these things? A stitch in time saves 9. Nigeria is saying that we're going to reciprocate as regards what America has now said, that for you to apply for American visa, you have to submit all your details for social media. So they are saying they are going to reciprocate, which I only think is right. Because Trump cannot start with his own wahala, and we are not allowed to be able to ask questions in return. And NCA is saying that phones must be switched off during takeoff and landing. During flight takeoff, that there must not be the case of airplane mode any longer. Interesting times for Nigeria. Let's see how all of this will pan out.
That was Rafai Unis Oseni analyzing the front page for us on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Joining us to further analyze the headlines, newspaper review is Barrister L.V. Sasia. Of course, he's a legal practitioner and a current affairs analyst. Good morning, Barrister. Thank you for joining us on the show. Hello, sir. Hello, Barrister Sasia. Can you hear me? Oh, looks like we're having issues connecting with him. Can you hear me, sir? Hello?
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Solomon.
Okay, good morning. Finally, thank you very much for joining us on the show.
Hello?
I can hear you. Can you hear me, sir? Hello, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Oh, okay. We have to try that again. If you're just tuning in, this is a front page and Voice of the People 90.3 FM, where we analyze top stories from our national dailies. Hello, good morning, sir. Okay, can you hear me now, sir? Hello, sir. Oh my God, what is going on? Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Solomon.
Okay, good. Looks like you can you hear me? Can you hear me, sir? Okay. Hello, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Solomon.
Okay, finally. hope you can hear me clearly.
I can hear you.
Okay, now let's start with the story where it says U.S. reports raises concern over security and justice in Nigeria, where the United States government has raised concerns over security and justice delivery in the country, citing cases of enforced disappearances and arbitrary detention. What's your take on that story?
Well, we don't need the U.S. to tell us what we already know, that there's serious insecurity in the country, and that there is injustice, and that our processes and procedures manipulated in a way as to oppress people, either for political ends or other means. So we don't need the U.S. to tell us this. This is common knowledge in my view, and it reinforces the cry by everybody, Nigerians, that the insecurity level in the country is no longer bearable. The level of injustice, the fact that you cannot get justice through the court system, you cannot get justice through the policing system, you cannot get justice in our ministries, departments, and agencies of government, and the influence of corruption in all of this in denying Nigerians of the basic necessity of life, which is security, which is a fair process, rule of law. We don't need the US to tell us this is. I think this is, everybody knows this.
I'm sure you read the newspapers. What story interests you the most from all the newspapers you've read this morning?
Well, I think the most interesting one is the call by politicians for their salaries to be increased. I think that is worrisome, considering the parallel state of the country at the moment. I mean, if you are asking for a salary review because according to them it's not been reviewed since 2008, the question you should ask yourself is whose salary has really been reviewed? And the politicians, political office holders should be the last to be considered in an attempt to rebalance the country. The focus has to be on reducing the current level of poverty, the current level of insecurity in the land. I mean, the current level of misery that Nigerians are faced with. So you need to look at, important sectors, teachers, what are you doing to ensure that, we have a competitive teaching scheme and system in Nigeria. We look at doctors, you look at, important, other important workers across the country. So politicians asking to be paid doesn't really make sense, and sometimes they try to compare it with what happened in other parts of the world. In the U.S., for example, the U.S. president pays his personal bills. He pays for his food. Is that what happens here? The president literally have the CBN, at his beck and call for all his expenses, all these foreign expenses, all these foreign medical treatment is going for example, is he paying from his salary like other Nigerians? The food that he gets, I mean, we see the budgetary allocations every year for food or for feeding in government houses across in the states, and even at the local government level. The question they are asking, the politicians, are they paying for that? So it's not enough to just be calling for salary review because you think that in other countries they are earning more. What you should be looking at is that anymore. What does he attain in other countries? They pay their bills, they buy their clothes, but we don't do that here. Here, the purse of the state is practically at the disposal of the governors. They do whatever they please. A governor, after a year or so, is building an empire for himself across all the states. A mere political office holder who was appointed yesterday, tomorrow is a big man, and nobody cares to ask where the money is coming from. Is it coming from the salary? You see, the challenge I have with this administration is that everything you are seeing today, they are all targeted towards 2007. Let's please the politicians, because the political system in Nigeria does not believe in Nigerian people. Nigerians, they don't see Nigerians as the source of ultimate power in terms of winning elections. They see that it is the politicians that guarantees them victory in the way and manner they do it, and so they want to please the politicians. And that's why all the policies that you see today, including this very ridiculous cry for salary increase of legal office holder, is essentially targeted towards making the politicians happy. It's a sad day for Nigeria.
Now, there's another very interesting story. I mean, Wike had an interview yesterday and said quite a number of interesting things, and one of the things he talked about is that the ADC is no coalition. Now he defined coalition as what happened when the APC was formed, when 2, 3, 4 political parties came together to form the ADC. So he's saying to form the APC, but he's saying what the ADC is doing is no coalition, where is different people from different parties, not the political parties themselves, coming together to form a coalition of parties. Do you agree with that definition?
I don't agree with whatever Wiki says. If Wiki tells me that today is Wednesday, I would doubt it. Because whatever he says is essentially political. It's part of his political manipulations and machinations that we have come to know him for in the last few years. I mean, what is his idea of a good political coalition? His idea of a good political coalition is to be in PDP and then be supporting APC to ensure that what you practically have is a one-party state. That is insane. And the fact that people like this get the attention on the media every day is even more worrisome, because we have to begin to test the mental state of our politicians. If you are thinking like that, you say you are a major stakeholder in PDP, and yet you are using your stakeholdership in PDP to try to manipulate a system that guarantees only one way, which is that the ruling party currently remains in power. What kind of democracy is that? In a true democratic system, people must be able to make choices. Look at the last election that was held across the country. You see that. I mean, did you see the input of the people in that process? And under our democracy and the constitution, unfortunately, you need the political parties to be able to even be a candidate and all of that. And so you need that competitive process, and you cannot have that unless you have coalitions. So the origins of coalitions may differ, but the goal is the same. The goal is to ensure that there are viable alternatives and options for the people to be able to challenge the status quo. If the person who is there is not doing well, the people should be able to say, look, this isn't good enough for us. Let us move to something else. And quite frankly, this is the only thing that can save Nigeria, until we have the Nigerian people have the option to be able to determine who becomes governor, who becomes government chairman, who becomes the president. All of these crises that we have will never go away. They're not going to solve it. If you travel to other parts of the world, you see that politicians leave to please the people, because they know that the next election, when the cycle of elections come, they will need the people to be able to remain in power. But today, the politicians believe they need the politicians, and that is why you see the kind of policies and policies that you see. Last year or thereabout, we all celebrated the fact that there was not going to be autonomy from the government system. But you can see that the presidency has backed down on that, because they need the governors in their pursuit of 2027. They are calling for salary review for politicians because they need the politicians for 2027. Everything they are doing is targeted at pleasing the politicians and not the people, because the people have no options right now. So yes, you have a lot of characters in the coalition. I don't want to look at their characters. I want to look at the fact that eventually we are able to build alternative political platforms for Nigerians to either pursue their aspiration or change whoever is there for now. And I don't. I'm not dreaming. I don't imagine that all the problems of the country will be solved simply by a group of politicians who are reshuffling themselves. But once you have a system where there are options, eventually the Nigerian of our dream will come. So Wike is not is only speaking for his political agenda and not for Nigerians.
Now, he also say ADC has nothing. They are not a true coalition. I mean, some may agree with them when you consider the last election. I mean, ADC did very, very poorly, and if they did this poorly in by-election, how do you expect them to be of any formidable challenge in 2027?
I think this argument, like I have said, doesn't hold water within the Nigerian political realities of the country. The question you should ask yourself is, the elections that were held across the country, were they free and fair? Was there a level playing ground for the political system? Was it really a case of Nigerians deciding their fate? And you are in the media, and I'm sure that any objective person would, doing a critical analysis, will say that this wasn't the case. And so the current electoral process that we have is not, you can't use to judge the complete capability, the reach of any political party. And don't also forget that political elections at state level and local government levels usually do not judge what happens at national level in terms of general elections. It has never even within the crude and rather funny system that we have seen cases where a political party will win a state as governor and lose it at the presidential for presidency. We have seen that. So it's really not a testament to what testament to the capacity of the ADC as currently defined. And I want to believe that as more and more people realign, the future of politics will be different. And that is the kind of country that every Nigerian should be fighting for. Even the government. You cannot be fighting to have one party state. If you are not afraid of the ADC, why are you talking about them? If you are not worried about the potential of the APC, why are you worried about them? Why are you talking about them? Every day we talk about Peter Obi, for example. And why are you always talking about him if you are not worried about it? So for me, I'd rather talk about something else rather than anything that has Wiki's name on it.
Okay, now there is increasing water accidents in the country, especially in the north. I know in this part of the world, water transportation isn't exactly as huge as air and road transportation. But don't you think it's time we diversify our transportation sector way beyond road and air? I mean, water, we are a country with lots of water in Lagos, in Port Harcourt, in Calabar, and in some parts of the north, and we keep seeing boat accidents day in, day out with little regard for water safety.
Well, it's all part of the lack of the interest of the people at the heart of politicians. Because if you put the people at the center stage of how you think and how you design political developments and government policies and programs, then you'll be looking for ways to better the lot of the people. And one of the ways to do that is to have a multi-modal transport system. That's what they have in other parts of the world. If you don't want to use the road, you can use the train system, you can use water where, you have that connection. And in Lagos, it's even shocking in a place like Lagos that we don't have huge investment in water transportation, because a lot of the gridlock, the traffic, the madness that we see on our roads, substantially we can solve that, by having modern water transport system. People are afraid to use what we have currently because when incidents happen, it's always difficult to rescue people, and then a lot of people die in the process, and so people are afraid. But in other parts of the world, you see that there are modern boats and that can move people from one place to the other, so that you don't have to go through the road necessarily. So, and then you look at our roads, for example, they are death traps. And so it's really about the fact that our government and the politicians do not care about the people. Because they do care about the people, transportation is a major way to reduce poverty. I recently traveled to some European countries, and I was shocked. The transportation system there, I can tell you for free that if you have that here, a lot of the people, a lot of the crisis that you have, you won't have it. A lot of look at the rent that the rent situation that you have in Lagos now. You won't have it because I won't be here. I won't be staying in Lagos. I will be coming from somewhere to get here because you have a transport system that can move you from one place to the other as quickly, as fast as possible. So it's the kind of things that, but we're not looking at all of that because the politicians they are getting more money today. I was just looking at the excuse that was being given in some reports in the newspapers by governors, why they are not, putting up money in capital projects. Because I look at the report, it was very ridiculous. And some say insecurity, some say this, some say that. But today, they are earning a lot more money from a federal allocation, from taxes, from internal generated revenue. They are earning a lot more money, and yet they are spending far less than they used to spend. A state spend just 20 billion on for capital project, in more than 6 months. That is madness in a society that is developing, that people need. There's no system that's working in Nigeria, whether it's transport, whether it's medicine, whether it's education, whether it's so you are spending only 20 billion. That it just tells you that we're not ready. If we are ready for the people, then all of this will form the focal point. Transportation I mean, you have to have a transport system that's designed across the country that can move people around.
Okay.
But if you're not doing that, then you don't really believe in the people. That's the problem.
Thank you very much, Elvis Asai. It's always a pleasure talking to you, sir. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having me on the program.
That barrister Elvis Asai, legal practitioner and the current affairs analyst. Let's go for a quick short break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
It's time to take the next step toward your dreams. Admissions are now open for the October 2025 and January 2026 intakes at Lancaster University, Ghana. Get ready for a world-class education, global opportunities, and an unforgettable experience right from Ghana. For more information, contact us at +234 0701 708 9214 or email us at nigeria@lancaster.edu.gh. Apply today and begin your journey to success with Lancaster University, Ghana. Your future starts now. It's time to take the next step toward your dreams. Admissions are now open for the October 2025 and January 2026 intakes at Lancaster University, Ghana. Get ready for a world-class education, global opportunities, and an unforgettable experience right from Ghana. For more information, contact us at +234 0701 708 9214 or email us at nigeria@lancaster.edu.gh. Apply today and begin your journey to success with Lancaster University, Ghana. Your future starts now.
Okay, the phone lines are open now for you to have your say. Number to call is 0700 903 903 903. Again, 0700 903 903 903 or 0803 692 9933. Again, 0803 692 9933. You can also call or text us via WhatsApp. The number is 081 717 56338. Again, 081 717 56338. Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for joining us to the show.
Yeah, this is Mr. Mba from Elasa Maja.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I just want to contribute about the killing in Katsina. I mean, the people in the mosques praying, and here the bandits came to attack and destroy and kill all. I think it's 7 of them. I'm not surprised about that because I've been spoken it in other social media, in other platforms, that the one Nigeria, some are paying the price with their blood in one Nigeria, where few are rejoicing, cruising with the weight of the country. You can agree with me, you're a journalist. During Buhari administration, Dubai government announced 5 of supporting terrorism, 5 of them in Nigeria. Today, I'm talking to you, the name to speak under the carpet. I didn't mean that these names are Chinedu, Cheta, Chidozie. You will see Nigeria fighter jets flying all over the east. You will see them persecuted. Look at it now, the Kanu invitation now, answering the query of terrorism, where the people who support terrorism in Nigeria from the north are walking free. How can a country move forward? And when Nnamdi Kanu was speaking all those things, people mock him, people categorize him. But today, what is going on in Nigeria today? I believe that one Nigeria are paying for the rich out, where the poor suffers about one Nigeria. And yet every election they will kill our goods. And yet they are the ones who are paying the price of this evil that are being called. It's a shame. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Number to call is 0700 903 903 903. Hello, good morning. Can you move away from your radio TV set, please?
Okay. Hello, good morning.
Okay, good morning. Thank you for joining us in the show.
This is Stephen calling from
Stephen?
Chimuza.
Okay, Chimuza calling from?
Ikoton.
Ikoton, okay. Go ahead, sir.
For me, we can talking about the position. You understand? Wike is not God. All the current administration, who are in this current administration, they are not God. They will not be the one to decide what will happen in 2027. 2027 is only between the masses and God that will decide what will happen in 2027. So they should stop bragging about the local government chairman and the what happened in local government chairman and the this thing. This one that happened recently. So these are not the things that will decide what will happen in 2027. And in 2027, we all masses, we are ready to vote this new party out. You understand? So yes, 2027, we are ready and we are ready for them. So it's only the masses and God that will decide what will happen in 2027. It's not them. Okay. So that's my contribution.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's read some messages. In my own view, I feel political parties holders should be on part-time basis, which will reduce the cost of governance and would become less attractive. An election would no longer be a do-or-die affair. Also, constituency project funds should not be allowed to be handled directly by these members. Furthermore, I want to see a situation where electoral reform bill will be passed before the 2027 general elections. Because of this is not done, nothing will change from the previous elections. Finally, government should do something about several series that has been happening now at the aviation industry, because it's getting out of hands and it's degrading the reputation of our country. God bless Nigeria. Tumitokwe Onatoya from Ijagemo community. Thank you very much. 2 years gone, we are yet to see the proceeds of fuel subsidy. A bandit killing worshippers shows that our security is lacking defense. Engineer Lawrence Ofoku from Igweri, Lagos. Thank you. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, let's continue with our stories. With our messages on WhatsApp. Good morning to you in the studio. Hope you people eat very good food to avoid dialysis, a big problem in your system. Okay, because the major cause of that sickness is lack of good diet. This is my advice to Nigerians. Though poverty is everywhere, nothing to comment this morning, because they are all old stories as usual. Day in, day out seems to reserve giving up on things called Nigeria until what Rawlings did in Ghana happened here in Nigeria. Nothing positive will be visible in the land. Enjoy your day, if at all there is some things to enjoy. Mayor from Ikotuigbe. Thank you very much, Mayor from Ikotuigbe. Good morning, VOP family. What the security of Anambra State government did to the lady youth copper yesterday needs serious investigation, and the people find guilty should be brought to book. The NYC have suffered a lot in the hands of people that are supposed to secure their lives. If Nigeria doesn't need the service of the NYC again, let them scrap it. Instead of our youth who are serving their fatherland continue to suffer in the hands of the people that don't know what it takes to train a child to the level of NYC. Anambra State governor should treat the matter with all seriousness. For me, it's not enough to freeze former NNPCL CEO carry account. It needs to be arrested and prosecuted for the money corrected to fix Nigeria refinery that never worked till date. Benjamin from Shogunle. Okay, thank you very much, Benjamin. Good morning, my name is AA from Akunwojo. Before INEC conclude the by-election, ADC has announced the results in Anambra State House of Assembly results on social media, declared their candidate as winner. That show ADC. Peter Obi and the supporters can only deceive themselves with propaganda. Tinubu will fix Nigeria 4-4. Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. My name is Shola. I'm calling from Edward.
Okay. Go on, Shola.
Yes, to start with, we propose political. When they say they are using water to fry plantain, is it possible? That is what they are doing to us. Because They didn't mention about even the allowances. We know that this salary is how possible that can they tell us that a president is being paid 1.5 million? Are you with me?
Yeah, me think
1.5 million naira. That is just a joke. You know, all the other allowances, furniture allowance, newspaper allowance, hardship allowance, all these things, you know, we know about them. So they're just giving us bobo. Then for the increased allocation, you know, your last guest was mentioning something that in these governors. The thing is that we know there are some states, even like Lagos State, allocations is just is unfounded, but we've heard on the underground that part of this allocation goes even to, apart from, I'm not talking about the federal allocation, the internally generated revenue. We know that Lagos is supposed to have been more developed than this. Look at what Wike is doing in River State too. We heard about how River State generates up to 24 billion. And the demands for some particular amount up to 60%. So these governors are just wasting our money until they are all held accountable. And somebody, you read, I'm rounding up now. Okay. Somebody said until gerrymandering treatment. That is what can salvage this country. Until that happens, this country is going nowhere. Thank you, Mr. Solomon.
Thank you very much. Good morning, VOP. Steve Ikelu from Maryland. Our parade killers are not even looking ruffled. Who pampered these criminals? That's a good question, actually. Wike is the only politician that belongs to one party and supports another party openly. Why can't PDP show Wike the way out of PDP? ADC will humble APC in 2027. Wike and his co-travelers ratings are born out of jittery. May God help this nation. Steve Ikelu from Maryland. Thank you very much, Steve Ikelu. Hello.
Yeah, Solo.
Move away from your radio and TV set. We're getting a hold.
Oh, sorry. I overheard you saying something about transportation. Yes, actually, Nigeria has no good transportation if you're coming into sensible talk of it. I was in Cotonou, Lomé in 1986 then. I traveled by sea from Cotonou to Lomé to Abidjan, then from Abidjan to Cameroon. Okay, now let's come to our politicians. Our politicians will travel overseas to see good things overseas. They will not bring it back to Nigeria to establish it here. It's only the nonsense they see there, they bring in here. What is there that we cannot make out good transportation in Nigeria? I'm not talking of Wike being in PDP, working in APC and the rest of them. That is rubbish. I'm not talking about increment in salary and all the rest. Bring in good things you see in overseas to Nigeria to work out. This is what we are talking. People are suffering. People are dying. This is Babu. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Babu.
Well, you see the day we perform for that.
Good morning, VOP crew. It's unfortunate that the current set of governments we have in most of the 36 states are clueless and lack the competence, character to govern. I wonder how there will be socio-economic development when a huge portion of their state resources is dependent on private jet fees and other frivolous spendings. On the Osun local government brouhaha, where was NBA before now? The NBA itself is part of the problem we are facing in this current political dispensation. On the freezing of some bank accounts of the farmers NNPC GMD, it shows clearly that we are all bounded with the Philistines. There was not a country. Comrade Oluwatosi Williams from Ogun State. Thank you very much, Williams. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, my name is Leonard from Yaba.
Move away from your radio and TV set. Move away.
No, as a matter of fact,
hello.
Each time I see, because every morning you tune, you hear one thing or the other. In the midst of all these things that are happening, what is paramount to our leaders is to go ignite how they will increase their listen with all the sources in the land, with all the things that are going on. How to include, and you don't be surprised that this thing they are just cheap to us, because most of the time it's about just get them informed, not about their opinion. So that is the type of leader we have, and we are talking of things that will make people to make sure that is government of the people, for the people, by the people. To make sure that the people is rich by the people. Nobody is going in that direction. That's electoral reforms, about making sure that we need to see the people we want to vote for. We need to see them talk. We need to see them make argument about how they plan. This was not there.
Okay, we lost him. Thank you very much. Good morning. The political office holders are clamoring for increasing their salaries. How much is the minimum wage of workers? Teachers earn less than 70 naira. So all of the allowances they collect is not enough. Our treasury is open. Let them loot as much as they can. Nigerians are passing through unbearable suffering and hardship. Then people that are enjoying their lives are here talking of salary review. Review for what? This is absolutely nonsense. Chude from Ayeturu. Thank you very much, Chude. Good morning, Mr. FM. These people cannot stop thinking that we are done this. How can Tinubu be receiving 1.5 million as salary and his wife is donating billions of naira here and there? Now them go tire for propaganda. Have a good day. Okosisi from Surulere. Thank you very much, Okosisi. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us on the show.
Kenneth is my name.
Sir?
Kenneth is my name.
Okay, Kenneth from?
Very unfortunately, this country that to them about pensioners, despite of the people who are the staff, yes, and their dependents are left. Not
so,
it is quite unfortunate.
You're going to have to call us back. We can hardly hear you. Please call us back. Thank you. John Hollis from Ago. I want to draw Nigerians' attention to the scenario. Politicians have realized it's better to be loyal to political class than the people, as initially said. Electoral reform is the way to go. Thank you very much, John Hollis. Hello.
Hello. Yes, so my crossover brother.
Hey, thank you.
This is okay, Moki.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Yes, so good morning. Thank you for a good job. I greet everybody.
Thank you.
Okay, calling you from Abulado.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said before, I'm from Obubura.
Oh, that's good.
Yes, so see, and then one of their said that increasing of their salary. We don't know anything about that though. What we know that should bring down the price of fuel, bring down the price and try to secure us the whole state, all the states, so that there will be security all over, and open border, and then the price of containers that are coming from abroad, they should bring down, so that things will not be costly like this. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm okay.
It's Uplocker. It's our. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, I need your number.
Solomon, good morning. Let the mockers not judge the direction of the 2027 election by the outcome of the by-election that just took place. Any mockery by the ruling party against the ADC will be their own peril. The only reason why things are like this is, one, ADC is yet to name a flag bearer. Two, the by-election is really not a real battleground to expose the mind of the people. Sati from Orisumbari. Thank you very much. Good morning, my name is Ugochukumba. Nigerians are hungry. Let government do something. Good morning. ADC candidate in Anambra State by-election did not declare himself a winner, and Tinubu does have something tangible to offer Nigeria. Leo from Lagos. Okay. Who has said, and it come to pass when the Lord has not commanded it. Those saying that opposition will not work are running faster than their shadow. Sorry to say that some of these politicians will see 2027 election. Let's be watching. Isaac from First Stack. Good morning, VOP. How did we get here, for God's sake? APC is built on propaganda and they have no solution to any of Nigerians' problems. These people just want to borrow and share among themselves to continue what Buhari was doing. What a shame. Oyeyemi Abiodun from Alakpere, Ketsu. Good morning, VOP Stevie Kelly from. Okay, I've read these before. Okay, caution. Good morning, VOP. Please advise one of your drivers on his reckless driving. He almost killed us this morning. At Ajawo Estate. Oh, okay. Thank you very much for that information, Daniel from Dotun. We will talk to our driver. Good morning, sir. Nigeria is paying for her daily daylight robbery. She is stealing from the oil producing state and funding other states through a unitary system of government that encourages laziness. Buhari was receiving 386 million naira yearly. How come they are not saying BAT? They are now saying BAT is earning 18 million naira annually. Regionalism that ensure true federalism is the only way forward. That has been the case since 1966, 59 years. We don't reap where we have not sown. Pristine from Lagos. Okay, good morning, Mr. Solomon. My name is Reverend Dr. Richard Chidi from Ikotu. Nigeria is in the hands of mafias, drug law, and high-class blood spillers. The only solution to recover the country is Operation Wipe Out All Old Politician. In 2008, former President Yaradua took a pay cut. Today, Obi has refused certain largesse and entitlement from Anambra State, while our sitting politicians are asking for more money from the impoverished masses. This shows the difference. He is left to Nigerians to decide. Amechi from Mafoluku. Thank you very much for all your contributions. It's always a pleasure talking to you. We'll be right back at 10:30 for the second half of the show. Until then, keep tuning into Voice of the People 90.3 FM for more of our programs. Subscribe to all our social media platforms at VOP 903 FM. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at VOP 903 FM. I am Solomon of M. We'll be right back at 10:30. Good morning.